age rarely matters. I say rarely because I do have a story where it actually did, but it's really how you act, how you dress, how you introduce yourself, how you present yourself. That's really all that matters. If you have a credible product, if you have something that you've built that you're confident about, I mean, I just read a story on MSNBC this morning that there is age discrimination in Silicon Valley, but they want younger CEOs. They don't want older CEOs. And that should resonate with you on how important, how unimportant age really is. You, as somebody that's young, are in the best position in Silicon Valley and in tech entrepreneurship to lead a company because you guys have the most creative ideas. You're the ones using the newest gadgets. Age should not matter. So if that's ever been something that stopped you, don't ever let it. As I was saying about kind of presenting yourself, I'll tell you a story. So the Cleverbridge guys host a client networking event every 6 months. In fall, it's somewhere in the U.S. In Europe, or in spring, it's somewhere in Europe. The first one was 2 months after I came on with them, so late August of 2008, or late 2008. And they I was down in Champaign. This was my freshman year of college. They invited me to the Chicago event. The first one was in Chicago because that's where they're from. And it was late. It was somewhere August, September, and I show up in shorts, flip-flops, and a hoodie. And Chris Hamill, the guy I was telling you about before, pulls me aside and he says, "What the hell are you doing?" And I said, "What do you mean? I haven't met anybody else." I didn't know he was referencing my clothes. Well, we went up to the Sears Tower that day to do meetings, and I was stopped at the door, and I was told, "I don't think we can let you up here. You're not wearing jeans. You're not wearing, a button-down or something like that." And eventually they let me up, but then I saw everybody we were meeting with, and they were dressed up and looking a little bit spiffier than I was. Well, for the spring event, I showed up in a full suit. He pulled me aside. He said, "What the hell are you doing? Can't you find a middle ground?" And from there on, I've been kind of dressing appropriately. But that's something to always keep in mind, especially in Silicon Valley, where ties are not really appropriate, and then you move to New York, where ties are kind of required. So wherever you are, kind of adapt. Another story where age could matter. Once again, these Cleverbridge events, it would be normal to, after you meet, to go out and go drinking with the guys. And a lot of business got done there as well because, you're kind of loosening up and, all right, well, I thought about what we talked about in the meeting. Let's move ahead with that. Guess who couldn't go to the bars? Me. So, I had to adapt. I had to send some of my other employees to get some stuff done. I had to wait until I was 21. In Europe, it was a little bit easier because, 18. But that's just something that, you do have to work around. And that's why I said age rarely matters. And then talking to my employees, for example, people that work for you, people that work with you, you've got to be able to kind of context switch. I'm a pretty social guy outside of work. When I get to work, there's 55-year-old people working for me. There's 18-year-old people working for me, and it's a respect issue, right? Do they respect you? Do they want to work with you? You've got to act like you're in charge. You've got to act like you know what you're doing, and that's definitely key.